What is up, everybody? What it do?
Hello, everybody. Another week has flown by.
Pshoo.
This one went by especially fast for me. What about you?
I don't know if it went by any faster than normal, but about normal. Choo, 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 choo.
For some reason, this one just like flew by so fast. It was Friday, and I was like, how is it already Friday? What the heck did we do all week? I don't even know. Just goes by way too fast.
Yeah.
Time is speeding up. Time is an illusion.
Yeah, but that's scary because that means jump down, turn around. We're going to be on our deathbed.
I was going to say we're about to be freaking old here soon. Oh, no. You're going to be wiping my butt. I would hate to wipe your butt. We'll have Nevaeh wipe yours because she's your daughter. I always say that to Nevaeh. I'm like, are you going to wipe my butt when I'm old?
Yeah, it's your turn. I had to wipe hers when she was a baby. She's going to have to repay the favor.
Poor thing.
I gave her a good idea of what she's going to be wiping.
Yeah. Hi, Mimi. Welcome in. First time live here. Well, welcome. We are going to be accepting questions for the live. They are $22.22. We have a list of pre-orders, which is a pretty good list. We have about 10 people ahead right now, so there would be a little bit of a wait. But we do come back for part 2 later on in the evening. So if you're not able to get on the list now, you can always try again later on today. There's plenty of time. So
the most important thing, though, is that you can come back to this video anytime and go to the comments, and all the readings will be timestamped. So if you're busy, you got shit to do, and you don't feel like sitting around and listening to us blab for 2 hours, you can place an order, go do what you got to do, and then come back tonight and then look in the comments, and they'll all be timestamped.
Hi, Christina. Hi, Michaela. So it says, what kind of questions can I ask? So if you click on the link, it'll take you straight to the website, and we have a description which kind of goes over what is like needed. Specific questions are required. If you can add a little bit of details with it, like if you're asking about a person, try to include who that person is to you. If it's like an ex or a current person or somebody who doesn't even know you exist, but you have a crush on them, or it doesn't have to be about just love either. It can be career, or I don't know. We've gotten just random questions before too. It's just as long as there's like some context to it.
Yeah, just know whatever comes through. I don't do that.
No general and no whatever wants to come out, because you know what wants to come out? Nothing. All right, how about that?
What it reminds me of when people do that is like you walk into a restaurant and throw some money on the table and say, just give me some food, whatever you feel like making. They're gonna be like, well, what do you want? Just whatever you feel like feeding me, whatever you think I should be eating. No. What do you want?
We want to put some intention behind it. So.
Yeah. Because I'm not a psychic medium. I'm an energy mechanic. I read energy, and I specialize in universal laws and energy behavior. So I need to know what I'm saying to the cards to know what they're saying back to me. Like you could lay a 9-card spread on the table, and you could ask 2 different questions, and that spread, depending on what question you ask it, can say 2 completely different things without moving the cards. So that's why I like just a little bit of specifics, and I'm not saying tell me your whole damn life story, but like, for example, how does this person feel about me? Okay, well, who are they to you? It's a past person, right? If that's a perfect example right there. So if you want to say, how does this person feel about me? I could lay a spread. Depending on whether or not it's a past person that you dealt with or a potential new love interest. Those 2 changes in scenario can make that spread say 2 completely different things. So.
And if there's not enough space, which sometimes that happens too, feel free to just message me here in the comments and I can just add it for you. So.
You.
All right. Well, with that being said, we do have a big list. Like I already said, let's get started. Are you ready?
Yep.
All right. First, we're going to read for LSH808, who is a Sagittarius. I've been hanging out with a Pisces male for the past 2 months. Is he interested, and what are his intentions?
Just hanging out, like alone, one-on-one. That's kind of weird. But 2 months, though, man, that's too long to be confused about feelings and intentions. 2 of Swords, of course, classic Pisces, and the Pisces card. What's 2 of Swords mean, babe?
They're like going to a decision, or they can't make a decision.
Indecisive.
I see. I'm getting it.
Indecisive. Hang on. See, and there's the Pisces card again. And Knight of Wands, Hangman. He doesn't know what the hell he wants. He don't know. He got his heart broke at some point. And ever since then, I think he's been kind of lost. When? I don't know. I don't know if this was a month ago, a year ago, 5 years ago, but at some point, this person got his heart broken. He doesn't really know what he wants. I think, at the end of the day, at the deepest level, he wants what we all want. Wants to be with somebody, wants to be in a relationship, but doesn't know how to go about initiating that. Has a lot of insecurities. So he's very, very insecure, uncertain, and filled with doubt. Three of Swords again. Okay, same message basically. 3 of Cups and the Pisces card again. Okay, he doesn't really know what he wants exactly. I think it's one of those things where I wish I could put the words behind it because I've been there before. I know what that feels like. It's like I want to be in a relationship, but I don't know who with. I don't know how to initiate it. I'm afraid of rejection. So I'm just going to kind of try to hang on to you and see if it turns into something, which, like I said, 2 months, 2 months of hanging out, and you haven't really gained any clarity on how he feels. That I would be, you have 1 or 2 choices. You can either have the what are we conversation, which that's always awkward. Nobody wants to have that conversation. Or I'm afraid that if you just keep this going like this, the tension is going to build and some kind of drama is going to pop off between the 2 of you. That's kind of what I'm a little bit afraid of. If you want, you can just sit and wait and see if it ever evolves into anything. But if it does, like after 2 or 3 months, if it just slowly evolves into something like that, there's going to be so much tension you all have to work through. I would be trying to dig for answers from him. That's what I would be doing. But again, like I said, I don't even think he even knows.
My ear's ringing.
So, yeah, very confused, lost individual. That's about all I can say about that.
I'm going to play with my cards too.
There you go.
So some of you guys might get an extra little message.
There you go.
But not everyone, because I can't read for everybody. But I'll try my best, because I'm still learning. I think I would know by now.
You do know. You just overthink it.
No, because I don't know what the heck the Emperor is, or the Major Arcana is always throw me off.
You don't need to know every single card. You can just glance at it. There's many, many times where I'll lay a spread and I'll read the whole message off of 2 or 3 cards. once you see what cards do yell at you, and then just kind of let it flow from there, and just release and just let the rest of it come in.
We're not all gifted like you, Richmond.
It's not a gift.
Richmond Lop.
Anybody can do it.
You know what's so funny? Remember when you would say, I remember you used to say this all the time, how people are like, oh, you have a gift, but you said the analogy of like the bird inside the cage.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
All the birds are like, oh my God, you can fly. You're so gifted.
Yeah.
But if all the birds came out of their little cage, they would realize that they could all fly.
Yeah. They've been brainwashed into cutting their feathers short.
Yeah. I liked that when you used to say that.
Lem.
Okay, next we have Bonita. Are you feeling Bonita? Who's a Sagittarius. What will happen between new person and I? We clicked immediately, but he did mention his ex-girlfriend a bit more than I would like. Eek.
Okay, so this is something that has been made official. Well, I mean, if you want to build a life partnership with somebody, we're going to have times where conversations about the past comes up.
I don't know if they're actually together because it said what will happen between the new person, like a new person that she's talking to.
Well, just keep that in mind. If you want to build a life partnership with somebody, it has to be somebody that you can talk to about anything.
Sure that.
Anything. Even if it's something you don't really want to hear about. You got to be able to put that ego aside and have that conversation. Let's see what the soul contract looks like. Uh-oh.
Oh, God.
Codependency card jumped out first thing.
Oh, God. The cards are flying for me. Oh, no.
Knight of Swords. Uh-oh.
I don't think he's over the X.
5 of Wands. Yeah. Well, the way it looks right now, what's going to happen is it's probably going to pop off into some drama. If he's already doing things that are, digging at your nerves and whatnot, then it's probably going to continue until something pops off. And Ace of Cups reversed. We're going to have to figure out how to get that in line. I mean, mentioning an ex, it depends. I guess I would have to hear in context how he mentioned his ex.
I feel like it's something that's actually bothering you a lot more than I don't know if you're leading on or not because it's just a couple sentences you gave us, but I could see that it's something that's actually bothering you more than you'd like.
But I guess I would have to hear the context of the conversation because, I mean, that depending on the context of the conversation, it shouldn't really be a big deal. Me and her can sit and talk about our exes all day long,
But maybe she can tell, like, he's not over the ex yet.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So, like, it's the spidey senses going off, too, and I could see that.
And that's why I'm curious as to what the context of the conversation is.
What does this one mean?
Like taking a break. That dude's taking a break and relaxing and
He's
meditating.
chilling.
It could be going to sleep, having dreams.
But I have this one for you, like, oh my God, he won't stop talking about her. No. Or I don't know how much he talks about this, but that's what I got.
There's the drama card again. So, I mean, just the way the energy sets right now, if things keep rolling the way it's been rolling, that tension is probably going to continue to build and build and build until it pops off and some drama pops off between the two of you. I don't want to say too much, but yeah, depending on the context of the conversation and what he is mentioning about his ex, for the very most part, within the boundaries of like common sense and common human decency, it shouldn't be that big of a deal, depending on what he said and how he said it, So, yeah, I don't want to say too much because I don't know the context. I don't know what he said. I don't know how he said it. But I guess either somehow we got to figure out how to, connect at a deep enough level to feel that trust so we can have those conversations. Or if you're really, really certain that he's just not over her, then maybe this is not somebody that you need in your life, because that's one of the leading causes of relationship failure, is getting into relationships having not released the past person. So.
All right, next we have Daisy, who's a Scorpio. What's Jeff's intention / feelings towards me? He's current in my life, but something is off with the connection, and I'd like to know why.
Are you in the chat? I'm wondering how long you all have been together. Is this somebody relatively new within like the last year or so? Eight of Swords. Four of Cups. Ooh, karmic wheel reversed. Well, I don't really think this person has bad intentions. I'm curious to know how long you all have been together, because this almost kind of feels like one of those types of situations where within the first year, that heavy in the beginning feeling, that new person feeling that you get kind of starts wearing off. And that's when most relationships take a turn for the worst. But without knowing how long you've been with this person, I don't really want to go there. But I mean, I'm not really seeing anything all that off about this person. I'm seeing that he's a little bit immature, a little bit emotionally immature, doesn't really know how to facilitate a really, really intense and navigate an intense emotional connection. I'm not seeing so far, which here's the thing with this energy right here, you never know. But right now in the current moment, I'm not seeing any lies being told or secrets being kept. I suspect that this is the type of situation where reality is starting to set in. And sometimes it can stretch on a little bit longer than a year. It's just that most of the time it's usually in that first year where those heavy feelings that you get when you first meet somebody starts wearing off, and then reality starts setting in, and it's like, oh yeah, you're going to be the one by my side for the rest of my life. And then it starts to set in and sink in. And, again, I don't want to go too far with that, though, because I don't know. I don't know if you all have been together for a year, 5 years, 10 years. But I'm not seeing anything immediately alarming about this individual as far as like bad intentions, at least not right now. But with Page of Wands, Knight of Wands, it could change at any given moment. Because Page and Knight of Wands are very immature, very fickle, very flaky. Eight of Swords again. Seven of Pentacles. Okay. Ooh, Five of Wands too. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything immediately alarming, really. Have you brought it up and asked him? That's one thing that I think, I don't know, you see relationships take a turn for the worst a lot when we avoid that conversation. When you feel a shift in energy, bring it up and call it out. And if it continues and persists, then we need to sit down and have a talk. Like, what's going on? There's something different about you. You've not been acting right. Like, something's going on. What's up? You know? Man, I wish I knew how long y'all were together. I don't really want to go very much deeper without knowing how long y'all have been together. Because if you've been together 1 year, then I would have something totally different to say as opposed to if you've been together for 5 or 10 years. But yeah, I don't think he has bad intentions. I just think there's been an energetic disconnect for some reason. And I don't think he's doing it consciously. He's not aware of it. But yeah, I'm not seeing anything immediately alarming. I would recommend, like I said, having a conversation, bringing it up. You know, what's with the energetic disconnect? What's with the change? What's going on? And if this is something relatively new, within 1 year to 2 years, that's natural. That's normal. But I kind of want to leave it there without knowing the rest.
Okay, so next is for Jen, who's a Gemini. In regards to my on and off again relationship, should I buy a house in my hometown or search elsewhere?
What is that? I'm confused. In regards to my on and off relationship, should I buy a house
in my hometown or search elsewhere? Maybe because they're off and on, so she doesn't know if she should be around or leave. That's what I would think. Because maybe if she stays in the hometown, then maybe she'll still be on and off again with this person. Well, if she leaves, and maybe it'll be like the end of it. Correct me if I'm wrong if you're in the chat, but that's what I'm thinking.
What I'm going to look at is the relationship. That's what we need to look at. We need to look at what's going on with the relationship before we even think about anything like a location or a house or anything like that. The Justice reversed, King of Cups reversed. So I still to this day have yet to witness an on and off relationship turn successful. I've yet to see that. Once you go on and off 2 or 3 times, it's just going to keep looping around and repeating the same cycle. It doesn't have to. It's just that the energy work that would take to get both of you on the same timeline is very, very intense energy work that requires a really high level of emotional intelligence, energetic awareness. So with the Knight of Wands and the King of Cups reversed, the likelihood that this is going to continue going on and off is astronomically high. Astronomically high. So I don't know what that has to do with where you buy your house, but if you're questioning whether or not you should buy a house just because you'll be close to this person, I wouldn't recommend that. This is such a brain twister. How I'm going to say this. If where you buy your house strictly depends on whether or not you're with this person, I wouldn't tie myself down to a place just to be with that person, because on and off, King of Wands reverse, King of Cups reverse, Knight of Wands, you got about a 98 to 99% chance that it's going to keep going on and off and on and off and on and off, unless you just step back and say, okay, fuck it, and just accept what you got. I've never seen that happen though. But yeah, I wouldn't get a house just to be closer to this person, if that's what we're talking about here.
I got the Chariot reversed.
Ooh. Chariot is a travel card.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Three of Swords reversed, Five of Wands reversed, Six of Cups reversed, Lovers card reversed. Wherever you buy your house, I wouldn't make it depend on whether or not you're with this person. So if buying a house in your hometown, you wouldn't want to do that if you're not with this person. I wouldn't do that. So, yeah. In regards to the relationship, it's more than likely going to continue going on and off.
So, is it saying to stay or go?
I'm not looking at the path. I'm looking at the. She said in regards to the relationship.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I guess.
If the number one deciding factor is the relationship, it's very, very likely that the cycle is going to continue to repeat itself. So whatever that means,
either way, it's going to repeat itself.
What do you mean?
If she stays or goes, like it's going to repeat itself?
If you stay with this person, it's going to continue repeating itself.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, whatever that means in regards to where you choose to buy your house, just take that and do with it what you will, I guess. But as far as your timeline right now, I'm not really seeing a reason that I don't really see a specific timeline that you're being put on right now as far as whether or not you're in your location. There's a lot of other soul contracts, assignments, and missions, going on right now where you are, but I wouldn't do it based on the relationship. Man, that was a brain.
And I got the Chariot reverse, which means no movement. So take that however you want.
Yeah, that was a brain twister.
Well, you like twisters. Next is Laura, who's an Aries. No relationship / divorce since 2003 / lost job during COVID. Medical injury, disability / have no direction in life / what should I focus on future-wise? I would like to know where I should put my focus and energy towards in the near future. I feel rudderless. So I was thinking maybe we could just do an energy check for this one.
Well, that's always such a hard question to answer because what do you mean, what should I put my focus on? The question is, what do you want to put your focus on? Let's see, it's been over 20 years sitting in the same spot.
Sitting in the same spot?
Basically.
Just says divorce since 2000.
Yeah, so sitting in the same spot in life, basically.
Well, it looks like a lot of really bad stuff happened in between all that. So I think she said like relationships, travel. Like what should she focus on in regards to that?
Star card reversed. All I can really do is look at the energy and tell you what I would do. I can't really tell you what you should do. Because the universe is going to make sure that you do what you should do. But what I would do is focus on healing. And when I say healing, I don't just mean emotional healing, like hardcore, like healing. Like if there's some kind of physical ailment that you have, like healing. That's what I've been into here lately is self-healing. I would go fucking balls to the wall, crazy on my spiritual path and say, I'm going to work on healing whatever. I've been working on healing a bad tooth here lately, and it's been nothing short of a miracle so far. Now, as far as traveling and whatnot, I can't tell you to or not to do that. When in a situation like this, when you feel stuck in a rut, the only thing you can really do is take a leap of faith out onto a new timeline and trust that the universe is going to guide you where you need to go. a lot of people come to me and ask, like, what path should I take? What should I do next? And it doesn't really work like that. Not really. The way it works is you have to start moving first. And then only after you start moving can the universe take the wheel and start guiding you. Right? And it depends on what you need to be guided through as to how scary that journey can start off. But if you want to travel, get out there and travel. If you're able to. But I would focus on doing something to get put on a new timeline. Something. And that means breaking up the daily routine and making a big change in life. Something as simple as getting up at a different time every day will put you on a new timeline. Something as simple as like drinking coffee in a different place in the house will put you on a new timeline. Doing something to break up the daily routine. And like if you're really, really wanting to get out of a rut, I'd be like, you know what? I'm gonna get out there and fucking travel. I'm gonna go visit this place. I'm gonna visit this place. I'm gonna visit this place. I'm gonna put it out there. I'm gonna start talking about all the places I'm gonna visit. And I'm gonna get out there and fucking make it happen. And that puts you on a new timeline. But yeah, it's where should you place your focus? Where do you want to place your focus? This is one of those things where there is no should or should not. Because the momentum of your energy is picking up. And it's like, so you're like a freight train that's been barreling down the tracks at 120 miles an hour. It's going to take some work to get that moving in a different direction. So yeah, that's about all I can say. Are you?
What I got was definitely don't go out looking for love. Don't go looking for relationships. I think you need to focus on getting yourself grounded. Like go to the park while it's still nice outside. Just soak up like nature for a little bit. Maybe if that does include traveling, then I would do that. Just get outside, get some fresh air, and try to connect with nature in a sense. Because I think you're like driving yourself a little bit crazy.
Or for traveling, maybe travel to spiritual events. You know, I don't know if there's any spiritual public figures that you follow that throw events or whatever, Dr. Joe Dispenza and people like that. You know, that's what I would do. I would get out and go crazy on a spiritual path. There's all kinds of spiritual conventions that happen all over the U.S. And people fly in from other countries, you know, and it's a really cool way to meet new people, see a new place, travel around. And the vibration is intense when you walk into one of those places.
Okay, so I hope that helps. Next we have Aqua 76, who's an Aquarius. Is it important for me to get the house ready, or should I be focusing on something else? The house ready just meaning that I'm having to sort out all the furniture again in the house. It's a huge job, and I'm afraid I'm wasting my attention on it if it needs to be somewhere else. So it's kind of similar to that previous question.
Everybody's asking what they should focus on. That's not really a question that somebody else can tell you. I mean, what you focus on is what you give power to. So I guess the question would be, are you wanting to give power to fixing up the house? If you want to do that, if that's a part of, you know, your timeline, I can't really tell you not to do that. Magician. I mean, with the Eight of Pentacles right there, you're not really wasting your attention on anything that you focus on. So it doesn't matter, honestly. If you wanted to pull your attention away from that, like the way I like to roll is I'll ask myself, how important is this? Is it a big deal? Does this really matter? And then that's how I decide what I want to put my focus on. If this is a big deal, if this is something that really matters, if this is very important, then I'll force myself to dig into it. But if I remove my focus, then what's going to happen? What's the worst case scenario? If the worst case scenario is not really that big of a deal, then I'll pull my focus away from something that's draining my energy. Let me see what the second
What's this card mean, reverse?
Well, the Hierophant's like a spiritual teacher. It's the masculine counterpart to the High Priestess. So spiritual teacher, spiritual lessons, commitment. Like, that's a very ambiguous card.
That's why I don't like to read, because I don't know what those mean.
Well, when you see a card you don't know what it means, don't worry about it.
I feel like it has importance. I feel like, and I could be wrong, so take this with a grain of salt. But what I pulled was maybe like, you know what you're supposed to be doing as far as like doing the house or whatever, but maybe your focus has been on other things, like maybe either hanging out with friends or like a relationship or something. And so maybe that's like pulling you away from what maybe you know what needs to be done. I don't know. I'm not a reader here, but that's what I pulled for you. But let me know if that's right.
You know, that's always, every time I get that question, though, I always don't really know how to approach it. What should I focus on? It's like, well, what do you want to focus on? I can't tell you that you should or shouldn't focus on something unless you're focusing on something that's damaging to your vibration. Like if you're focusing on something that's designed to make you angry and pull your vibration down, then obviously pull your focus away from that. But I mean, if it's something like fixing your house up, I mean, is that really important? Because
I feel like it has some importance if they're asking about it. Why then it has to hold some type of like importance in their
well,
life.
if it holds some importance, then yeah, focus on that. Absolutely. If getting the house fixed up and whatnot is something that needs to be done, then no, you're not wasting your focus by
But it
focusing
could
on
be,
that.
should I be focusing on something else, or like is there a certain love interest in your life maybe you're referring to? Based on what I pulled, that's why I ask.
I mean, if it's something that needs to be done, no, you're not wasting your focus.
I say get your ass up in there and finish that house. Get it done. You go, girl. You got this. Straightforward answer. There you go. Okay, next is for Chris, who's a Libra. My ex Aries and I were together for almost 12 years and have 2 kids, and we have been separated for a year. Do you see any possible reconciliation?
Wow, opposite signs were together for 12 years. Holy shit sticks, Batman. That's crazy. Well, I got to look at the soul contract. Do. 7 of Pentacles reversed.
Ooh.
Star reversed. Empress reversed. Karmic wheel reversed. And the death card. So I don't really think that it was completed successfully, but I do think that over the course of 12 years, whatever happened between the two of you put a dent, such a big dent in the connection that it's going to be extremely difficult to work and process through. Extremely difficult. I don't like to use the word impossible because nothing's impossible. But it's just like, you know, it's possible to run a marathon, but how many people are going to put in the work to do that, you know? So, I mean, it's uncleared karma, but there's just been a huge dent in the connection. Huge dent. So, I guess let me see the person's feelings, energies, and intentions.
I got yes. That there is going to be an offer made, but it's going to end very quickly. Very quickly, it will be like end, but there is like an offer, like an offer from him. That's what I got. You guys let me know in the comments if my my readings resonate at all. 'Cause I'm very curious.
Karmic wheel again. So, I mean, I think there is potential for a reconciliation attempt, possibly, yeah. It's hard to say though, because now you all are off of the default timeline. So the only thing I can really look at is the energy in the moment. And I think that this person does entertain the idea of a potential reconciliation. So looking at the energy right now, possible, very, very possible. But again, there's such a dent in the connection that it would take a lot of work to work through all that energy. A whole lot. If I had to give it a percentage, I'd give it probably about a 40% chance. Probably. And if this person goes too long without having any success in their love life, that increases the chance. So my fear is that even if you do end up coming back together, it's going to loop around and repeat the cycle. Because this wasn't supposed to come to an end. This was a karmic life partnership contract. So, yeah. I give it about a 40% chance that in the next 6 months, there could be a reconciliation attempt. And if this person's love life fails miserably in the next year, I'd give it about a 60 to 70% chance. But it's hard to say because it wasn't even supposed to come to an end in the first place. Yeah.
Right. Okay, next is for Kimmy, who's a Gemini. Why haven't I met anyone in 2 years? I'm 53 and feel invisible to men at this point. No one is ever looking at me or interested ever. I feel lonely and unwanted and have never had an issue. I don't understand what is wrong with me. I'm not ugly or sketchy. Menopause has made me questionable. Oof, I am so scared to ever go through menopause. Bless your soul. I know it can be bad.
Blue, the blue, buddy, blue. Let me take a look at your last soul contract. Your last soul contract was not completed successfully. But I'm not saying that this is just the last soul contract, but there is a lot of energy from the past that you haven't released yet. A whole lot. A lot. Now, when I say you have past energy with you, that does not mean that you love that person. It does not mean that you miss that person. It doesn't mean that you've been thinking about them. It doesn't even necessarily mean that you remember their name. It just means you haven't released the energy. And that's keeping you stuck at the same vibrational frequency. And the next person due to come in is on a completely different vibrational plane. And there are no soul contracts on the frequency that you're on right now. There are no more left. So now it's just a matter of shifting out of that frequency, away from 93.1 over to 107.7. So that's pretty much what's going on here. Let me see what the second spread says. Five of Swords reversed.
You got the same color.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
Six of Swords, King of Swords. Okay. All right. Yep. No. In the vibrational bandwidth that you're at right now, there are no soul contracts. So the next person due to come in vibrates at a different frequency. So It could take some time to shift to that frequency and release that energy. As long as you're doing it right. I haven't seen this happen very many times, but a tiny little handful of times in my career, I have seen people stay stuck in the same frequency so long that they pass it all up. You know, that's a different topic for a different time, but yeah, time to shift to a new frequency because there's no soul contracts there in that vibration. So yeah, that's about all I can say about that.
Yeah. Okay. Next we have Blake.
Balake.
Who's a Virgo. My ex Aquarius of 1.5 years is leaving for another man and lying to me about everything, and I'm dealing with narcissism. Is this a temporary separation and advice?
Well, if you're dealing with a narcissistic liar, you tell me if it's a temporary separation. Do you want to be with a narcissistic liar and a cheater? Is that what you want? I can look at the soul contract.
If he's a narcissist, then fucking, yeah, leave his ass. What the hell? He's doing you a favor.
Now that's that other person's problem.
For real. Don't be hanging out for that person.
Past life karma. And no, the karma has not been cleared. So this is an incomplete contract. So it wasn't even supposed to come to an end. So highly doubt that this person is the only person that he's been messing with. If he was able to, he would be messing around with a bunch of different people, which he probably has. I can't spy on the details of somebody's life. But at this point, I mean, it's kind of up to you as to whether or not it's a temporary separation. It wasn't really supposed to come to an end, when or how it did. But, you know, you're dealing with a narcissistic liar. So I guess I'll see this person's feelings, energies, and intentions. Knight of Wands, Emperor reversed is getting close to that narcissistic energy. Seven of Cups again. Damn it. Keep dropping my shit too. Seven of Cups again. Five of Wands reversed. So, Three of Swords. I mean, I don't think this person has any plans right now of returning. That's the only thing I can really look at when you get off the default timeline and outside of the soul contract, because things aren't going according to plan now. This person doesn't have any plans of it, but that doesn't guarantee anything, you know. Usually people who move like that always end up bouncing back to one of their exes when everything goes wrong. People who play that game, who lie and manipulate and fuck around and cheat, they usually always at least try to keep one ex in their back pocket for a rainy day when everything goes wrong. And most of the time, you'll end up hearing them bounce back to an ex. And the question is, knowing that he's a narcissistic liar, you going to let him come back?
I got a message for you. Wait, I got to know what this one means. What does this mean upside down first? Because
that's like financial codependency.
Oh, okay. Okay, well,
using you for something.
I don't know if this person is using you or not, but we can check that if it doesn't make sense. So intuitively, you know, like this person, you just said it, he's a narcissist. Okay. So if you just hang out a little longer, I think that you have someone new that you're going to meet. So
there you go.
I would just say whatever to this person. Like, they already did you dirty, and it's gonna be hard to overcome that anyways. And Do you really want to be with a narcissist?
See, when we meet somebody, we paint a picture in our mind of who we think that person is. As long as you're dealing with an honest person of respect and integrity, then hopefully the picture you painted in your mind should be a relatively accurate depiction of who that person actually is. But if you're dealing with a dishonest, deceitful, lying, cheating, backstabbing little fuckbag, you're eventually going to be handed evidence that proves that you painted the wrong picture in your mind, that he's not at all who you thought he was. So right now you're going through that battle, the battle of the ego brain, where the ego brain is scrambling and scraping to try to hold on to that picture, hold on to who you thought he was, when the universe is showing you that that's not who he is. And that's a hard battle to go through. What I would recommend is take the picture of who you thought he was and delete it, throw it out the window, delete it. It's a hard thing to do, but the quicker you can do that, the quicker you can, when somebody shows you their true colors, the quicker you can accept and believe it, the easier life gets.
Yeah.
Then when somebody shows you who they are, it's like, oh, that's who you are. Okay. All right. Fuck you.
And if he's so quick to just move on and get over what you guys had so fast, like he'll just do that again too. And you'll always have that in the back of your head.
Yep.
It's not worth it. All right. Next is for B, who's a Pisces. I left a club 9 months ago because it no longer felt like the right fit. Though I stayed in touch with Les, who runs it. I shared my reasons for stepping away without naming names, but she continued to encourage me to come back for a while. Recently, she stopped doing that. I hope she doesn't quietly resent my decision. Does she now see what I saw? So it sounds like something happened and she stepped away without naming anybody, but is she seeing, is the club, the person who runs the club, does she see, I don't really know what all happened, but I'm guessing. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, but I'm just trying to figure out how to read that.
Oh, because I was trying to help you understand.
Yeah, no, I understand it. That's not, I can't really hit it from that angle. Let me just see. Let me take a look at your path first. Judgment. Yes. So you stepped away because it was time for you to step away. That was divine intervention. The universe stepped in and pulled you away from that place. That's what happened. That's what I figured. Okay. I mean, I'm not really, I'm kind of feeling like this person's just let this go for the most part. You know, after a certain point, you know, whoever this was, I think it's just letting it go. I don't know what you saw or how to tell you if she saw what you saw, but it looks to me like she's just kind of letting this go. You know, because you can't beg for somebody to come back. You know, if she's encouraged you and encouraged you and encouraged you and you keep saying no, you've set your boundaries and she's respecting that. Yeah. No, she's just respecting your boundaries. I mean, what do you really expect if somebody's trying to get you to do something and you keep telling them no? Do you expect them to keep begging and begging and
That's
begging
not
and
what
begging?
she's saying. She's saying, oh, she doesn't resent her decision.
I know that. What I'm saying is that eventually she's going to quit trying to encourage you if you keep saying no. So she's kind of closing the door on that and letting it go. I'm not seeing resentment as much. I mean, there may be a little bit, but she's just kind of letting it go. I mean, and there may be a little bit of guarded energy there, a little bit, but I'm not really seeing what I would call resentment. Maybe a little bit of disappointment, but is that the club owner, you said?
The person who runs it.
Yeah. I mean, after a certain point, a business person has to move forward and say, okay, well, it is what it is. It's time to move forward, you know? So Yeah. I don't know what you saw or what that even means, but I don't think she's mad at you. I think she's just letting this go. If that makes sense.
Makes sense. So whether she does see what you saw or not, or that's not coming out.
I mean,
so.
she's like I don't know what you saw, and I don't know how to tell you if she
It
saw
looks like
what you
somebody did something and she didn't want to, name names and just remove herself from it. But I wonder if it's come out now, the truth about whatever. I think that's kind of what she's wanting to know.
Well, it's very likely too that a lot of those business people like that, they already know. They already know. Just depending on the type of environment that you're in, especially if it's a toxic environment, it's not like the people who own or run the place are blind. They know what's going on. Business people turn a blind eye to shady shit all the time, But I'm not really seeing resentment. I'm seeing that she's just kind of letting it go. She's, encouraged you several times, and you said no, which you should, because it was time for you to move on from that. So she let it go.
All right, so this is going to be our last one, unless any others come in. It's very short wait times. If you want to get on our list, the link to the website is in the comments. And if you end up buying one after this, then you will be on part 2. All right, next is for Rachel, who's an Aries. Will I have a love interest in the near future?
I can't tell you near future. I don't know what near future means to you. I can see if you're in the chat, can you let me know how long you've been single? The first thing I want to look at is the status of your last soul contract. 201 reverse. 8 of Pentacles, Ace of Cups. Okay, so I do think your last soul contract was completed successfully. I don't know how long you've been single, but with the 9 of Cups and the Hermit, the universe is, dude, look, all of them, all 3 of them in one spread. Every single card of independence that exists in the tarot all came out in one spread. So the universe is kind of putting you on a little bit of a solo path for a little bit to give you the chance to release any past energy. You'll probably be tested a few times, because what's due to come in next vibrates at a very, very different frequency. Very different. So with this energy right here, I can't tell you what the near future is. I don't know. That's different for everybody. Some people say the near future is in the next 2 weeks. Some people the next 2 months. I've even had people refer to the near future as being the next 2 years. So you've been put on a solo journey for a little bit. If you've been on a solo journey for a while, that's part of your path. Don't worry about that. If you're newly single, the universe is probably going to put you on a solo journey. And the next person that you connect with is more than likely going to be a test. More than likely. So I've added to my analogy. So the new analogy that I've come up with, the abundance frequency, is like, if you know that feeling where you go shopping and browsing in a store, you got a pocket full of money and you don't need anything at that store. That's the abundance frequency. Plenty of money in my pocket. All my bills are paid. I don't need anything. Now, how likely are you to let that annoying salesperson talk you into buying a $500 vacuum cleaner that you don't fucking need? That's a test. Some people will see the salesperson at the other end of the aisle and say, well, fuck this, let's go this way. Mm-hmm. That's best case scenario. You float past a test and don't even realize it. Let's see what the second spread says.
That is a good one.
Yeah, I'm always trying to figure out how to make people understand what abundance means and what the abundance frequency means. And that's my newest analogy that I've come up with. pocket full of money at the store. I don't need anything here at the store. I'm good.
Why the fuck you in the store then? To browse.
To browse.
For browsing.
Browsing, seeing if there is anything that I need, but I don't need anything. That's what abundance feels like. I don't need. So if I have a pocket full of money and I'm so abundant that I don't need anything, why would I buy something? If I'm that abundant that I don't need anything, why would I buy something? If it's something really fucking special. I'm not just going to buy anything willy-nilly. I'm not just going to let some annoying salesperson come talk me into switching internet providers, you know? It's
She said she's been single for almost 10 years.
10 years. Okay, so the solo journey has been a part of your path. And if it's been that long, then you probably have had a difficult time shifting out of the frequency that you were in. Because that soul contract was completed successfully, your last one. But it's the next person due to come in vibrates at a different frequency. And as you do begin to shift up out of that frequency, you'll be tested. So I don't know if you have had any potential love interests. If you have, it was probably a test. But yeah, it's the next person due to come in is in a different vibrational frequency. So if it's been 10 years and things are just kind of floating along, staying the same, probably not. So I would go balls to the wall on my spiritual path. You know, I'm going to transform into a different person. 2026 is going to be the year that 1 year from now, nobody's going to recognize me and just go crazy. Go crazy, get out there and travel, go to spiritual conferences, spiritual events, you know, consuming spiritual content, meditating, saying affirmations, playing with manifestation techniques, just balls to the wall crazy. That will take you and put you on a different fucking timeline. And you don't have to try too hard to figure it out. As soon as you break off of your default timeline, then the universe will take the wheel and start guiding you to where you need to go. And that's what I would do to shift into a new timeline for 2026. I've done it. It's fun. It can be scary, but it's fun. At the end of the day, you'll have an awesome story to look back on and tell, you know, to your grandkids or great grandkids or whatever. So.
Okay. Oh, wait, no. Did you just get one that came in? Oh, no, that's a different one. Okay. So we will be back at 4 p.m. Pacific time for part 2. Anything that comes in during the break will be read in first come, first serve order. And yeah, thank you guys so much. And we'll see you guys later.